So earlier, we were talking about some of the stuff we bought at the antique stores, and here's a set of 3 Daffodil. We have a spoon, we have a luncheon fork, and we have a knife. We're going to show those. So this is called Daffodil. It was in a little set together. And so we're going to take this fork right here. It's a little luncheon fork. It doesn't have the same length of tines as like a dinner fork. So here's a dinner fork. You can see quite a bit of difference there. Luncheon forks, you don't see them very often. I like them because you can really make some cool fork rings out of them. And so that's what we're gonna do right now with this one. We're gonna take this and make a fork ring. So I gotta go over here. I gotta flatten it first. So the first thing I'm gonna do, I'll come over here and I'm gonna flatten this really quick. Not a big deal. You just take a hammer to it, flatten it out. It's pretty easy. If you got any kind of mallet, or I use a lead hammer, but just about any kind of mallet will work. It don't take much. It's already flat. So you have this right here, just flat as a pancake, as they say. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty flat. So I'm going to take it over to the torch. We're going to heat it up pretty good, and just makes it a little bit easier to work with when you're heating it up. I'll come over here. I'm just going to put some heat to it. Just kind of right on those tines. I get them pretty hot. Some people get them to where they're just flaming red or orange. I don't quite get them that hot, but I get it pretty hot. And I've never made anything out of a Daffodil luncheon fork, so this will be interesting. See, oh, that got a little red. So, it didn't take much to heat it up. Maybe that's okay, Mark. I think that's good. All right, so we're gonna go over here and cool it down. So we got this right here. We're gonna go into this water. Oh yeah, yeah. So just like that. I think I can touch it now. Yeah, it's still a little warm. So I'm right here, and so what I do, I just take, this is one of my tools. So this is an old knife handle, but it works really good for getting inside, getting these tines. So I can just slip it right over that tine, just like so. And I'm just gonna pull that out just a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. Gonna pull that out, and I'll show you when I get. So then you have something like this. And then then you just go to the other side. I'm gonna pull this out. Same deal, same thing on both sides. And again, it's just how I make them. So just gonna pull that out so it looks something like this. All right, so now I use these little bail making pliers, just kind of rounded on the ends here. And you can pick any size, whichever side you want. They're 2 different sizes, but it don't really matter. I'm gonna start with this small end, and you just start bending. There's really no wrong way or right way. I just start bending, and then you just kind of see what happens. See where the fork kind of takes you. Sometimes they decide to do things you didn't plan on. All right, so there I've got a pretty nice little bend right there. You go just a bit more, right about there. All right, so, and then you can go to the other side, and you can do that same thing. Just like so. I'm try to keep my fingers out of the way as much as I can. And so, same deal, right about there. And then, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just going to go below that first circle I have. Okay, just right there. Just like this. And so I'm going to do this way. So I'm going to go back just like that. Okay. So, same deal over here. We're just gonna go right back, just like so. So then you have it looking something like this. Okay, so now what you can do, you can pull, you might even have room to do another one. That'd be tight, that'd be close. I think we'll just leave it there. So you just pull this out, and then pull the other one out. And what I mean by that is pull it back out flat to where you have something like this. Okay, something like this. Looks kind of weird right now. Okay, now you move on to the other, there it is, to the other tines. And so you just take the same deal. You just take them and you're just gonna work them out. Just work them out here. I don't know, hopefully we can see this, and just work it out here. Looks something like that. Okay, same deal on the other one. Just take it and work it out here, just like so. Now it's really looking weird. And then right back to the pliers. Kind of burnt the tips of that one pretty good. I think it'll clean up though later. Well, they say we'll finish it in editing, and we'll take care of it in editing. Well, I'll take care of it with the buffer. All right, so I'm gonna go this side. Same deal, same size. I'm using the same size. And you're just making that same kind of loop, same kind of bend. This one's a little harder to see. Hopefully, hopefully we can see that. Okay, so then once again, we're gonna go the other way. I'm gonna take it, let's see if I can get in here. It gets a little tougher the further you get into this. All right, so, and I'm just gonna bend, a little tough to see. Just gonna bend this right into there, just like so. And then I'm gonna squeeze that shut. And so what I'm doing here is just squeezing that shut. And then, so I'm gonna just move that over. I know I'm going kind of fast here, but just move that over a little bit. And I actually moved both of them over a little bit, which is kind of good. And then bring it back out flat, like the other ones. So you have something like this. Okay, looking kind of crazy, that's for sure. And I'm just gonna move that on over. See if my pliers will get wide enough. Just gonna move that on over, like so. All right, so back now, we're to the last tine. Same kind of deal. You just start with that smaller one, right out towards the end, just like that. And we're gonna bend that one. Same deal, same way. By now you should be a pro if you're doing this with me. All right, so you have that same bend. Now, I'm gonna make this one as close as possible because I've got to be able to fit it in there. So we're gonna get right up to the top of that and really bend it pretty close. Bend that one pretty tight. Matter of fact, I could even go and get my smaller pliers, but I think this will work. Yeah, I think this will work. So we're just gonna press, we're gonna kind of press that together. So just like, I don't know if you can see that moving, just like so. And then you wanna grab that again, and we'll bring it out like the rest of them. Just like that. Now you have something that looks like this. Looks like kind of a mess, but it's not too bad, not too shabby. And believe it or not, that will be a ring in no time. All right, so I'm gonna bring it over here. All I'm doing right here, I'm just taking it, I'm flattening, making sure it's nice and flat. No big deal. You can just, again, you can take any hammer, just make sure it's nice and flat. So now I'll bring it back over here and we'll show you it's just nice and flat, kind of just pretty flat. And so now we're gonna cut it off somewhere in here. It doesn't have to be laser cut by no means. And we'll make a ring from about here. You know, let's cut it right here. So we're gonna come over here and cut it. Again, it don't have to be, you know, laser cut. Not a huge deal. So we're just gonna cut it somewhere right in here. That'll work. And we'll save this other piece for later on. I'll put it right here next to that pretty ring. So now we have this right here, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna make a fork ring out of it. So I'll bring it right back to this, but first we gotta clean these edges up. So back to the belt sander right here. Just wanna clean the end up, just like so. You want to make sure it's nice and cleaned up. You don't want it to be abrasive at all. Nice and smooth. And as you can see, you don't want to stand too still. You don't want to keep it too still at any time. You want a nice, round, smooth edge, just like so. And then to make sure you have it nice and smooth, you just kind of give it a nice buff in the buffer. You want to make sure you get a nice Nice smooth ends on that fork. Again, I want my rings are really comfortable, easy to wear, and this is a big part of that right here. There's a lot of buffing. I want to make sure it's nice and smooth. All right, that should do it. Now we'll bring it over here and clean it up. All right, so now we're going to bring it back to the ring bender, right over here to the ring bender, and turn it into a ring. And so again, I start with the smaller end. It's just a little easier, I think, honestly, to start with the smaller end. And so I'll try to keep my fingers out of the way. So now it's not going to be, we're not going to spiral this, of course. It's just going to meet right about where these two circles are right here. And so you just start bending. You want to get that end pretty good. Get it going pretty good. Try to keep it centered. And then see, I'm just pushing it out. Now I'm going kind of to the other end, just like so. Just like this. And it's going to keep going. And now you can see it's starting to take shape a little bit. You can almost see it start to become a ring here. And so I'm just going to move this end right into here, and we'll have ourselves a fork ring. This is definitely a ring that I sell a lot, especially at Silver Dollar City. This is one of those rings, again, that you'd put on your pointer or middle finger. Every once in a great while, I'll get somebody that puts it on their thumb, but I would recommend pointer or middle finger. It's just your longer fingers, and it's a long ring. So we're just about there, just like that. Come out here and even that up. And so we'll take it over to the ring mandrel here in just a second. But I'm going to show you this. Now it's pretty small. It's going to be for a smaller girl or guy. And I'll try to get that thing to sit still. But there's a pretty cool fork ring right there. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to try to get it to sit still. There we go. So that was a pretty small one. We're going to clean it all up, make it look real nice. I don't even think we have to go to the ring mandrel. That's pretty round. We'll show you that in a second too, but I want to buff it out, make it look really nice and pretty. That's one of the first things you do and one of the last things you do. So I'm just going to buff this out. Really cool fork ring. Something you don't see every day. I make a bunch of them. We've made a few cool videos about fork rings. I love making fork stuff. Just kind of forking around, as you say. So this buffer really makes them look nice. Makes it nice and shiny. So you just got to get in there, and there's lots of parts to this ring you got to buff out. It takes a little bit longer, but we'll show you the finished product here in a second. Again, this is a ring that's pretty small. I mean, this would be, probably a 6 or 7, somewhere in there. All right, we're gonna bring it over here to the water. Dunk it down in there. Go grab a fresh paper towel here. And we'll show you the finished product. Doesn't take too long. I've been making a lot of them, making them for years. So I'll come over here by Donnie and we'll show you. I'll try to get in here to this camera too. And show you how pretty this thing is. And I'm probably going to run it through the tumbler a little bit later just to make sure. Those two middle fork tines got a little hot, a little hotter than I was planning. And I can see a little bit of stuff on there. Yeah, maybe not too bad. Anyway, let me get this cleaned up and we'll show you how pretty this is and how unique a fork ring can really, really look. And again, they're really easy to wear. They're surprisingly comfortable. You wouldn't think something like this would be comfortable, but they really are easy to wear and they're really cool. Definitely a kind of a statement piece. Just a really cool ring. And I'm going to try to put that on my finger right here. That's about as far as it goes, but it's pretty cool.